Tom and Peggy couldn't help feeling a little sad. It was Pedro's last day on Earth. Buffaloes, Indians, and several distinguished presidents of these United States interrupted their stay inside Pedro and once again saw the light of day. And it was a very particular day, a day of important decision. Tom and Peggy had to decide what to buy for Mother's birthday. They had already agreed that the gift must be something special, something extra special. Peggy said there must be at least $100 in their bank, enough to buy Mother the most wonderful present in the world. But Tommy, who was a man of affairs, realized that Pedro's capacity had been limited, and the most wonderful present in the world would have to be very inexpensive. But what was it to be? They thought and they talked and they thought some more, but still they couldn't decide. That night after dinner, they still hadn't made up their minds. They held a whispered conference while Father read and Mother knitted. Mother knew something was happening and asked them what the conspiracy was about. But, of course, they wouldn't say. It was Father who quite innocently came to their rescue. Every night before bedtime, he would read to Tom and Peggy. Tonight, he was to tell them about canaries. Father first showed them a map of the Canaries' original home, the Canary Islands, the islands of Madeira and the Azores. In a canary book Father had brought home, he showed them pictures of various types of canaries. The color of the original wild bird closely resembles the tame variety known today as the green canary. The pictures in the book were alive with color. Here were types of canaries that children had never dreamed of. Tommy liked the red siskin because the bright feathering brought to mind some exciting jungle adventure in a strange land. Peggy's favorite was the blue canary, probably because his color matched the shade of her eyes. The plump, jolly Norwich canary delighted them. But the Yorkshire was a favorite of both. His graceful carriage made him very elegant and very handsome. Peggy and Tom got the idea at the same time, the most wonderful gift in the world. The children could hardly wait for Mother's birthday, but it finally came. Then, the moment they had been waiting for, Mother received her gift. It was even more wonderful than they had planned. They could see how pleased she was with her new pet, and Pete, that was his name, sang a birthday song. Tom and Peg had chosen a yellow canary for Mother because that was her favorite color. Like so many other people, the children learned that canaries are an ideal gift for birthdays, anniversary, Mother's Day, Christmas, and Easter. Pete became a very important member of the household. He was a gay little fellow who enjoyed people and seemed to be very proud of his beautiful, endless song. When the children were at school and Father at work, Pete kept Mother company. Tom and Peggy begged Mother to let them take care of Pete. Mother was pleased to let them do this. She knew that while they were enjoying themselves, they were also learning lessons in duty and responsibility. But Pete's requirements were simple. What makes canaries so especially popular as pets is the fact that they require little attention. Peggy and Tom were wise enough to realize the importance of giving Pete only the best food, a diet prepared especially for canaries under controlled scientific conditions. Feeding a bird selected foods is a simple and inexpensive precaution that assures him a long, happy, and melodious life. Pete seemed to concur with his master's decision. His bright eyes, alert movements, and pure, full song indicated he was a very healthy, very satisfied canary. Like humans, canaries too need a balanced diet. It is important that the seed be fresh and clean, and of course nutritious. A cuttlebone provides the lime a canary needs. Food elements a canary craves and would look for if he were out in nature are included in biscuit form. Tom and Peggy quickly learned that feeding the biscuit with the seeds gives their pet a balanced diet. Today, this biscuit also contains vitamin B12 supplement, the marvelous new discovery in the science of nutrition. This vitamin B12 supplement means better health for a canary and better feathering. It makes him alert and lively and more inclined to sing his best. Tom and Peggy would change Pete's drinking water frequently. They would also sprinkle fresh gravel on the floor of his cage. They learned that canaries, having no teeth, use the gravel to grind their food. Gravel takes the place of teeth and must be hard and sharp so that its action in the canary's gizzard will result in grinding food into an easily digested form. The extra fine gravel Tommy chose for Pete is made of crushed quartz, which is thoroughly washed, carefully screened to a uniform size, and then sterilized by heat for purity before being packaged. The favorite event of the day for both Pete and the family was the bath. Most canaries don't need any prompting when it comes to this delightful ritual. Tradition holds that Valentine's Day begins the mating season for canaries. Perhaps it was only coincidence, but it was on Valentine's Day that Father brought this pert, buff-colored female home and introduced her to Pete. Her name was Mimi, and she and Pete seemed to get along from the very beginning. First, Mimi was put into the breeding cage by herself, with Pete in a cage close by. After they had sufficient time to get acquainted, Mother put them together. Soon after, Peggy put some nesting material in the cage, and Mimi promptly went to work building a tidy little nest. The children were fascinated by the idea that they might soon have a family of baby birds. One morning, they came downstairs to say good morning to Pete and Mimi and discovered a tiny blue and brown speckled egg in the nest. Each day thereafter, Mimi laid another egg until there were 3. Mimi was an excellent canary mother, and her 3 babies were hatched and raised successfully. Later, Pete took on his children's education and taught them how to sing. And since Pete was such a superb songster, the children learned their lessons well. What had begun as a thoughtful gift now developed into an exciting hobby. Father set up a breeding room for the canaries, and soon there were many cages, each with its own canary couple raising families of little birds. Mother realized that canary breeding was not only a pleasant hobby, but a very profitable one. There is a demand for these wonderful pets throughout the country. Tom and Peggy saw their modest initial investment in a birthday gift from Mother grow into a productive home aviary. While they had many purchase orders for their fine birds, they often took pleasure in giving canaries as gifts to those that particularly appreciated them. The Bishops were an elderly couple that lived quite alone. Their children had long since grown up, married, and moved away. When Mother gave them a canary, it seemed to them that a ray of sunshine had moved into the house and become alive. Now, there are 2 different types of singers among canaries. The Bishop's bird was a chopper. The chopper is known as the jazz singer of canaries. His voice is loud and strong because he sings with his beak open. His song is natural, full-throated, and bell-toned. When Jane Carpenter had to spend long weeks in bed, the family gave her a pet. He was a roller. By comparison to the chopper, the roller is an opera singer singing from his throat. His tones are soft and somewhat low-pitched, with a sequence of rolls and trills. His voice is the cultivated type. This fellow's song and presence was the medicine that helped keep Jane happy and made her well. Tom and Peggy and their mother and father are a typical American family. There is always a place for a pet of some kind in their home. But of all the pets that America loves, perhaps none brightens hearts and cheers homes the way a singing canary does. It has long been a favorite and always will be. To Tom and Peggy, the canary was once an exotic, unfamiliar bird. Now they're canary experts. But the family has learned more than facts about canaries. They've learned how much richer and fuller life can be with a living hobby. They've learned that canaries are fun.